Hi everyone, I am Andrea Camacho. I am from Lucre Chocolate and I'll be sharing with you our initiatives to decarbonize our supply chain with small farmers. So, first of all, I'm going to talk about the chocolate dream, which is our plan for a better chocolate. Um, Lucre Chocolate, we are a Colombian B4B family owned chocolate manufacturer founded in 1906. We have 150 years of experience. We do direct sourcing and we fully integrate our value chain from bean to bar. We are very committed with quality and also with sustainability to develop gourmet chocolate, but also to create shared value at our origin. This is why our purpose is to make the world a better place by helping other companies create purpose driven products using our chocolate as a tool for change. A little context about Colombia. So here you can see the map of Colombia, and as you can see in Colombia, we have cocoa growing families in many, like in almost all the country. Cocoa growing is a family activity in Colombia. The families in Colombia have in between 3 to 4 average members of people. And these families have around 3 hectares of cocoa. Their crops are quite small. Currently, we have 52,000 families growing cocoa in Colombia. Colombia, as you may know, is one of the most biodiverse countries of the world. We actually rank first in species of birds, but here we have a big challenge, and is that bad agricultural practices and also extensive cattle raising and extractive activities are threatening our biodiversity. Also, since 2005, 2 million people have migrated to the cities. And these people are mainly young people. So, this is also putting in risk the countryside and the future of agriculture and cocoa for us. Having this in mind, we have created the Chocolate Dream, which is Lucre's chocolate collaborative plan to transform the whole chocolate value chain from its origin. With this, we want to build sustainable well-being in Colombia's cocoa producing strategic regions. In Lucre, we work in 6 main strategic regions, and what we work in this with this plan are 3 main objectives. The first one is to enhance farmer income through increased profitability for prices and also by shortening our value chain. The second one is to strengthen the social fabric in rural communities. We work this by supporting education, rural entrepreneurship, and also enforcing human rights. And the third one is by maintaining the environmental balance. We seek this through protecting the water resources, forest, and biodiversity. With this is how we go beyond sustainability in Lucre and how we create shared value in cocoa producers communities. This is our impact last year, closing 2022. We have now in these 6 strategic regions 3,084 families with a sustainable well-being. We also have 829 families, cocoa growing families with increased income. And in the environmental line, we already have our declaration of carbon neutrality of 2021 in our scope 1 and 2. This means our direct operation. And we decarbonized our supply chain from 2022 to 2020, from 2021 to 2022 in a 9%. Here you can also find our main SDGs 8, 10, 12, and 17. Although with our environmental projects, we are also tackling the SDG 15. The environmental impact is very important for us in Lucre, and this is why in 2021 we committed to Race to Zero. We signed this, and our main goal here is to become net zero by 2030. So Race Zero is this program of the United Nations that is seeking to maintain the temperature below 1.5 degrees. And what we want with this is to become net zero by 2030. Our initiatives here and what we are doing to be able to achieve our main goal is we are measuring our footprint at scope 1, 2, and 3, which is all the complete supply chain. We are also starting to measure our product's carbon footprint to know and find opportunities to improve our carbon footprint. We are also creating our mitigation plan to be able to decarbonize all our supply chains from the origin also, and we are measuring the carbon sequestration we are having in our own plantations, in our own cocoa plantations, but we are also working this with our small farmers. So we are going to these small farms and also measuring the amount of carbon they are sequestrating. We will maintain the carbon neutrality declaration throughout the years. We are also implemented our new solar panels in our chocolate factory, which will help us to reduce 161 tons of CO2 per year. And this is going to help us also with our decarbonization goal. And we're implementing new sustainable packaging alternatives for our clients. But this is not enough. When we measured our scope 3, which is the carbon footprint of the whole supply chain, we identified that there was a big percentage of emissions coming from our small farmers. And this is why we needed to work together with them to be able to decarbonize our whole supply chain. The challenges, and digging into this, we found these four main challenges with small farmers. The first one is that cocoa farmers are only using the 18% of the cacao pod. This is a big challenge because this is first, they are not utilizing the whole cacao pod, and this has many opportunities, but also because it has an environmental impact. In Colombia in 2021, there's an approximation that this sub-utilization of the cacao pod generated around 2,100,000 tons of organic material that is becoming like waste. And this is creating many pests in the cocoa farms. So this is an environmental issue, but it's also affecting the productivity of the farmers and is creating many bad odors in the farms of the cocoa farmers. Also, the change in the use of soil. So farmers are, in some cases, changing the use of the farms they have, and we need also to change this perspective of farmers in how they manage their farm. The waste management, they are not doing the good management of the waste, and they are implementing bad practices in their farms, and also the low productivity. So these are the main four issues that we found when we dig into the emissions they are producing in the supply chain. And here, so after identifying this, we started to work in what could we do and the opportunities we had. So this is Cristobal, one of the farmers that is supplying cocoa for us in Huila. He has 5 hectares of cocoa and a family. He lives with his wife and his 3 kids. Now, if Cristobal, for example, started using and implementing some byproducts and exploring the opportunities that cacao has in byproducts, he could increase the utilization of the cacao pod in a 50%. He could start doing and creating some biofertilizers, biocarbon, which these two products help directly the cocoa farm and the productivity, because the biofertilizer helps the cocoa crop and also the biocarbon helps the soil health. So this will directly help their cocoa crop. Also, if Cristobal started doing this and exploring the opportunities that cacao pods have for creating byproducts, he could also, for example, create food for animals and many other products that we are right now exploring and researching to start creating with these small farmers. Cristobal, for example, if he implemented all these products, he would have a much more sustainable cocoa crop. He would start implementing the circular economy in his cocoa crop by using the waste of the cocoa pod in new products. And these could also become entrepreneurial initiatives for Cristobal and his family, which could also help to diversify their income and include more sources of earnings to the family. Another opportunity is agroforestry systems. In Lucre, we are always promoting agroforestry systems in cocoa farmers. We are always telling them they should implement agroforestry systems because this help the soil health. These also help for the increase of the carbon sequestration, and this is very important because carbon sequestration then translate into carbon certificates, which at the end will also give them more monetary, like more revenue if they have more carbon credits to sell in the market. These agroforestry systems also help for the biodiversity and to maintain the ecosystem of the area of the region. And when they have other types of crops with cocoa, they also diversify income because they don't only depend on cocoa, but they could also start having revenue from other types of crops. So, for example, Cristobal, he has lemons with cocoa, but if he had other and more types of crops, for example, plantain or ginger or other types of crops, he could also use this for his family groceries. And when he goes to the grocery store, he wouldn't need to buy many products, but just few products if he started also to use these agroforestry systems. So he would not only increase his income, but also reduce the expenses of the family. And the agroforestry system, as you can see, is like a completely sustainable practice in cocoa. But this is not all. Implementing these two opportunities we have diagnosed and find in Lucre to work with the small farmers also have additional benefits, because this not only increases the income and also help us to decarbonize our supply chain. This also helps with inclusion and equality. As I told you before, cocoa growing is a family activity. And by implementing agroforestry systems and by exploring also the opportunities of the production of byproducts with the cacao pod, this could increase the family income and could also increase the participation of Cristobal's wife and the three kids of Cristobal, for example. One of the main challenges that I mentioned before is the migration of the young people to the cities looking for new opportunities. Well, byproducts could also become these new opportunities for kids, because here they can innovate and they can start using technology to create these byproducts, and these could become the entrepreneurial ideas for the family, where the kids start innovating and start creating and identify new opportunities of cocoa, and not only the use that we know right now, which is to produce chocolate, but also to implement this fruit in other sources of income with innovation coming from the young people. And also, his wife could manage the whole business and the entrepreneurial initiative of the kids. So this will also help us with the passion and with sustainability in cocoa, with the families and with all the cocoa regions in Colombia. So this is how we are creating value in our 6 regions of cocoa producers in Colombia, because when we try to find a solution to a problem, which in this case is to decarbonize our supply chain, what we aim is to find a systemic solution which brings environmental solution, but also helps them in increasing their income and with social solutions also, in this case with inclusion and equality. Here you can find my contact information. If you have further questions, just send me an email and I'll be happy to answer it.